Alone at 8, she begged, "Can I spend a day with you, ma'am?" Incredible transformation revealed. Lily watched, her heart pounding in her small chest. Alone at 8, she stood by her bedroom window, gazing out at the laughter that danced through the warm summer air. The scent of barbecue drifted from the neighbor's yard, mixing with the echo of children playing tag. Each giggle pierced through the solitude that wrapped around her like a tight hug. She felt invisible, her little world painted with shades of gray while everyone else splashed in colors of joy. Her single mother was often away, spinning in a whirlwind of jobs just to keep their tiny home afloat. So, Lily squinted through the window, a silent witness to happiness just an arm's length away. That's when she spotted Mom Ruth next door, knee-deep in her glorious garden, tending to her vibrant flowers, her hands gentle yet firm in the rich soil. Lily's heart raced, a mix of hope and fear unfurling within her. Taking a deep breath, she gathered all her courage and stepped outside, the taste of adventure fresh on her tongue. "Can I spend a day with you, ma'am?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Ruth looked up, her kind eyes sparkling with surprise. A smile broke across her weathered face, and she nodded, patting a space beside her. "Of course, dear. Come help me with these babies." Soon, Lily was beside Ruth, hands plunged into warm earth and petals brushing her cheeks like soft whispers of encouragement. She felt something shift inside her, a sense of connection, weaving itself between them with each bulb they planted. As they worked side by side, she opened her heart, sharing her dreams of one day being a writer, where her fingers danced across typewriter keys, just like they danced now over flower petals. Ruth listened intently, her stories flowing like a summer breeze. She shared tales of her own adventures, moments of love and loss, families that grew yet left echoes behind. Laughter bubbled between them, warming the air like the sun filtering through the trees. But they didn't know that shadows lingered nearby. A social worker, concerned eyes watching their bond. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let's continue. When the social worker decided to step into their little paradise, an air of authority filled the space. "Can she truly live here?" they questioned, their brows furrowing in judgment. Eyes from the community turned towards Ruth and Lily, and the warmth between them felt suddenly fragile as they stood under scrutiny. Lily watched from a distance, her heart racing with uncertainty. She could feel the tug of fear tighten in her chest, the fun of the day overshadowed by shadows creeping back. In that moment of chaos, Lily's voice cracked through the tension. "Ruth's my friend," she declared, her trust in Ruth stronger than the doubts swirling around them. Would their bond survive the storm? Would it be enough to shine through the judgments of the world that seemed intent on pulling them apart? The answer lingered on the edge of the whispers that filled the air as they faced an uncertain future. The atmosphere grew heavy, thick with a mix of tension and uncertainty. Lily felt like a lone dove amidst a gathering storm, her heart fluttering fiercely against the confines of her chest. The social worker's presence was imposing, their clipboard in stern demeanor like an anchor pulling on the strings of her fragile hope. "Ruth's my friend," Lily repeated, her voice steadying with the emerging strength she didn't know she had. She looked at Ruth, who knelt beside her, eyes wide and warm, filled with genuine concern. There was a spark of something deep and meaningful between them, a thread of connection woven in trust. The social worker's gaze softened momentarily, though concern still shadowed their features. "Friendships are important, dear." But they paused, searching for the right words. "Can this be enough for you? She isn't your guardian." The heaviness in her heart shifted, and Lily's voice rose. "But she cares. Just look at the flowers." Lily gestured wildly towards the garden, a riot of colors bursting forth like her emotions. Each petal represented a moment they shared, laughter threading through them, secrets hidden in their vibrancy. "We've made something beautiful together." Ruth leaned down, her gentle grip on Lily's shoulder grounding her. "You're a bright light, Lily," she said softly, her eyes glimmering under the sunlight. "And I care very much about you." But I also want what's best for you. The social worker leaned closer. Can you tell me more about your life at home? A knot formed in Lily's throat. She felt exposed, every defense she had built around her heart slipping away. I'm mostly alone, she breathed out, her voice smaller now. Mom works a lot. She is trying so hard, but it's just us and sometimes I feel like I'm in the way. No one spoke for a moment. The truth of her words hung above them like a heavy cloud, an unspoken understanding of the loneliness Lily often felt. Then, you're not alone when you're here, right? Ruth chimed in, her voice soothing, urging both Lily and the social worker to see the truth. Let me show you how friends can bloom, just like these flowers. We can support each other, keep growing together. The social worker nodded, pen poised on the paper, but their eyes softened, contemplating Ruth's words. It sounds like you have a special bond, they said slowly. But it's important to look at all options. Ruth's heart raced, a rush of feelings coursing through her. She knew that Lily needed more than just friendship, she needed stability, a family. And yet, how could she convince authorities that love could flourish outside the conventional paths? As the conversation continued, Lily's anxiety waxed when she saw a glimmer of doubt in Ruth's eyes. What if I'm too much trouble? She whispered, her voice cracking. What if they take me away? Never, Lily, Ruth assured her, the conviction in her voice igniting a flicker of hope within the girl. You deserve to be heard, to be loved, and cared for. Together we'll show them. But there was a nagging doubt, a sense of urgency flaring within her. Would her words hold enough weight? Could their bond truly shield Lily from being pulled away forever? In the moments that stretched like an eternity, their world felt encapsulated in that garden, a temporary refuge stitched together with friendship and hope. The social worker seemed to be reshaping their thoughts, pen moving in contemplative hesitance as they glanced between the two. Then Lily exhaled, gathering courage for whatever was to come. Please, she said, just let me keep being here, with Ruth. Would it be enough to change their fate, to turn the tide against the shadows? Time hung heavy in the air, and the answer lingered just beyond the words waiting to be spoken. Silence enveloped them for a heartbeat longer, each second dragging on, heavy with suspicions and the weight of vulnerability. Lily shifted her gaze from the flowers to the social worker's face, seeking hope in the cautious look they wore. Lily, the social worker began, their voice softer now, I can see how much Ruth means to you. But think carefully. This is a serious decision, one that could change everything in your life. Lily's stomach twisted. She wanted to scream, to leap into the air, and shout that she loved her life here. She could feel the warmth of the sun on her skin, the flutter of the breeze, and the gentle hum of bees buzzing nearby, all reminders of joy that felt fragile but tangible. But I don't want to lose it. Panic edged her voice as she gripped Ruth's arm, her desperation spilling over. I don't want to go back to feeling alone. A few steps away, the social worker scribbled furiously in their notes. It's important you trust me, Lily. There are many ways to feel safe and cared for, and perhaps that can include Ruth in your life, but we have protocols, steps to take. Lily's heart sank. More steps? What did that even mean? Nothing ever changed in her life. It was always just her and her mom, a loop of longing that spiraled into loneliness. Ruth knelt down facing her fully, her warmth radiating like the sun's rays. Lily, listen to me. Trust your feelings. You matter. We'll figure this out together, she urged, squeezing her shoulder. Do you really think that's enough? Lily asked, her voice breaking, her eyes brimming with tears. I do, Ruth said, conviction etched in every word. We'll fight for this friendship. We'll plant even deeper roots, we'll show them what love can accomplish. But doubt crept in, twisting around Lily's heart. What if they say no? What if they don't see it? Suddenly, a louder voice spoke from behind the social worker, interrupting the tension. It was another woman, someone new to the garden. Her demeanor was bright, filled with life as she approached, maskless in her enthusiasm. Sorry to interrupt. I'm Amelia, the community counselor. I just came to check on how things were going. The social worker turned, briefly holding up a hand. Trying to gauge the situation here. Oh, I see. Amelia glanced at Lily and then at Ruth. Lily, you've got a special bond with Ruth, huh? Her tone was light, bordering on playful. Lily nodded, shielding her tears with a brave smile, hope flickering like a candle. Amelia knelt to the ground, eyes sparkling with kindness. Sometimes, what as conventional doesn't mean it's the best. If you feel loved and safe, then that's what counts, right? Lily's heart fluttered at Amelia's words. Could they sway the decision? A flicker of unity began to illuminate the uncertainty surrounding them. Exactly. Ruth chimed in, matching Amelia's energy. Friendships can become family when nurtured with love. The social worker's pen paused again, their eyes darting between the three of them. Sounds like you all believe in this strongly. Lily held her breath, fingers crossed tightly. Please, I don't want to go back. A quiet moment spun out before the social worker lifted their gaze. Your feelings really matter, Lily. Then let me stay with Ruth. She pleaded again, her voice trembling but full of fervor. Amelia offered her an encouraging grin. Remember, it's not just about what you want. It's about finding a way to make those desires bloom into reality. Could their wordplay be enough to shift the conversation? The tension hung in the air anew, stretched, tender like new buds sprouting in spring. Everyone waited. What's the next step? Ruth finally whispered, her voice soft but filled with determination. The answer lingered, the garden around them swelling with potential, hope, and the chance to rewrite all their stories. Would courage alone be enough? Lily felt the air thicken around them, each moment stretching like taffy fused with fear. The sun cast playful shadows, dancing along the garden path, but all she could see were the walls closing in. The social worker's eyes flicked between her and Ruth, their silence growing into a storm of emotions. Can love really make a difference? She thought, her heart racing. Every beat echoed her fear of returning to a life devoid of tenderness. Amelia, sensing the weight of their silence, took a deep breath. Let us reframe this. What if we think of this as a journey? You're showing us how a relationship can be a family, Lily. How can we take the next step together? Lily looked up, meeting Ruth's gaze. There was reassurance there, a depth of connection that made her feel safe. I just want to be with Ruth. I feel whole with her. She bit her lip, hoping each word would help sway the conversation. Whole, huh? Amelia mused, jotting notes while keeping her eyes fixed on Lily. Whole is good. It means you're stronger. You have something special. Exactly. Ruth jumped in, her excitement matching the rhythm of Lily's heartbeat. We just need to show them what we have. The connection, the trust. It's real. The social worker shifted, visibly pondering the strength of their bond. It's admirable that you all believe in this connection. But remember, there's red tape to go through and it takes time. The word time felt like an eternity, spinning in Lily's chest. Time, a resource she feared would run out if they hesitated too long. I can do anything if it means I get to stay with her, she whispered, gripping Ruth's hand tightly. Let us find the framework, Amelia said, her tone turning encouraging. Lily, what do you think could help convince them? You've got the support of two people who believe in you. In that moment, something clicked inside Lily. Maybe if I show them how we really connect, they'll see. Her eyes brightened, and a flicker of purpose replaced her uncertainty. We can share our stories. We can tell them about the butterflies we saw, the times we laughed. Everything. The edges of Ruth's lips turned up into a proud smile. Yes. I can help you, Lily. We can show them everything. Every moment we've shared is proof that love can conquer this. Amelia nodded excitedly. That's the spirit. We'll create a presentation of your bond. Let us make them see it through your eyes. Lily's heart soared with affirmation. Yes. I want to do that, make them understand. Just as a wave of hope surged within her, the social worker's pen danced across the page, making notes feverishly. All right, if you believe strongly in this, I'll take your thoughts to the higher authorities. I can't promise, but I can present your case. Lily's breath caught, a mix of excitement and dread swirled within her. You can? You'll talk to them? Though it may take time. Their voice softened. It's up to you to share your truth. Show the world how love grows and what it means. Thank you. Lily's voice rang out, her gratitude a light beacon illuminating the shadows. But the social worker continued, pausing dramatically. You must be prepared for any outcome. Lily nodded, determination hardening in her chest. I will be. I want to stop fighting for Ruth. As the warm sunlight bathed them in golden hues, the air felt different. Filled with possibility, each breath whispered of dreams ready to take flight. Yet deep inside, the nagging thought lingered: was this really enough? Would they let love bloom, or would walls rise again, shattering her hopes? The thought hung like dew on leaves. Suspend the answer, watch it sparkle. Each moment rolled on like a wave, both comforting and daunting, and Lily stood at the edge, heart tingling with an uncertain promise that the hardest part was still to come. As preparations began, a question echoed in her mind: what if sharing their story and revealing their bond brought unexpected truths to light? What if it opened doors she never knew existed? Lily felt a surge of adrenaline as they began brainstorming what to include in their presentation. With each idea tossed around the table, the weight of hope began lifting a little. She felt like she was floating, heart racing, like she was gliding on air just thinking of what lay ahead. Let us start with the first day we met, Ruth suggested, her eyes sparkling. Remember how much fun we had trying to catch that butterfly? Lily chuckled, the memory flooding her mind. I was so clumsy. I thought I would scare it away. Right? But you ran around the garden like a little tornado, and then at the end you were just so happy. Ruth's smile was contagious, and Lily found herself grinning alongside her. That's the magic. We need to share that feeling. Amelia leaned forward, nodding. Joy is powerful. It tells a story without words. Can you write that moment, Lily? Describe it with all the colors and sounds just like you felt? Could she? Doubt tried to creep in, but then she remembered the way the sun had danced through leaves, the air filled with laughter, and the way it felt to simply be free with Ruth. I can! Lily exclaimed, pen in hand, letting the memories flow like water from a fountain. Ruth chimed in again, her enthusiasm palpable. And what about all those afternoons we spent in the park? We should include those moments when we shared our dreams. You told me you wanted to become an artist. Lily's heart fluttered. Yes. I could draw the park and add my sketch of us. She looked at Ruth with excitement. That would show them how much I cherish our time. The three continued to brainstorm, moving through the flowers they picked, the rainy afternoons spent inside crafting. Each memory sparked more ideas. They even thought of bringing actual keepsakes from their adventures to share. But just as their spirits soared with creativity, a shadow crossed Lily's heart. What if they don't see it the way we do? What if they think it's too silly? Ruth turned serious, her eyes softening. Lily, remember, love is never silly. It's real, and it's beautiful. What we have matters, and we need to stay true to it. True, Amelia interjected gently, and it's okay to feel afraid. But we're going to highlight your bond, the laughter, the trust, and the moments that make you who you are together. Authenticity speaks. Lily nodded, the fear shifting slowly to determination. Okay, I'll write everything down. I want them to feel the way we do. As they started assembling their ideas, the excitement felt invigorating. It was like weaving a tapestry of their lives together, threads of joy and laughter blending into a picture of resilience. Yet, as dusk began painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, a new wave of fear washed over her. She gazed at Ruth, her heart infinite in possibilities yet heavy with doubt. What if they don't understand? What if they see us for the scars we carry instead of the love we share? Ruth took Lily's hands firmly, grounding her. We'll show them that love is worth fighting for. Remember, it's our story to tell. We just have to trust in its power. Amelia stood, her presence steadying the room. Let us create something extraordinary. It's not just a presentation, it's a testimony. And that is worth every effort. As the walls of the room encircled them, alive with their shared stories, an undeniable truth emerged: they were more than just three people sitting at a table. They were a family, and families fight for each other. Just then, Lily's phone buzzed, the sound slicing through their moment. She glanced down to see a new message from the social worker. All the hope that had filled the room dimmed slightly as her heart raced again. What news could it possibly bring? She hesitated before pressing the screen, fear creeping back in. Would it be an obstacle or an opportunity? In her chest, uncertainty tangled with anticipation. The moment of truth was almost here. Lily's fingers hovered over the screen, her breath quickening. The message was just a few words, but they felt like a boulder crushing her heart. We need to discuss your presentation soon. Please prepare for a meeting. The initial thrill of creativity evaporated. What do they want to discuss? She whispered, her heart sinking. Ruth leaned in, her voice full of warmth. It's okay, Lily. Maybe it's just a routine check-in. They often want to talk before the presentation. But what if it's about me? Lily's voice broke, the weight of the moment heavy in the air. What if they're thinking of separating us? What if they think we're not good enough? Amelia squeezed Lily's shoulder, a grounding touch. You know who you are, and you know what your story is. Focus on that. You're not just a name on a paper. The thought of being defined by her past twisted in Lily's chest like a storm. There were days when she could feel the shadows of her childhood creeping back in a reminder of loneliness and silence when she had felt unloved. But that was not who she was anymore. I just don't want to lose this, she gestured to the space around them, the three of them together, crafting their future. You both mean everything to me. Ruth nodded. We're in this together. No matter what happens. Just like we used to climb that big oak tree and promise to be there for each other. Lily could picture it, the three of them, the sun filtering through the leaves, the laughter that had bonded them like a sacred secret. It felt warm and comforting, but her doubts still weighed her down. What if they see me as broken? A problem to fix? With a deep breath, Ruth replied, We're all a little broken, Lily, but those cracks allow the light to shine through. You're beautiful just as you are. A lump formed in Lily's throat. I really hope they can see that. Then, without warning, the door swung open, and in walked the social worker Ms. Harris with her usual clipboard in hand. The smile she wore was genuine, yet there was an undercurrent of seriousness in her presence. Hello everyone. I just wanted to chat for a few minutes, she said, her tone cheerful yet measured. Lily's heart pounded in her ears as Ruth and Amelia exchanged nervous glances. I know you're all preparing for your presentation, and I'm excited to see what you've created. Ms. Harris leaned against the table, her eyes focused on Lily. But we need to address something important before you proceed. Something important? Lily echoed, her mouth dry. She felt the room grow heavy and strained, the words hanging between them like unspoken fears waiting to be acknowledged. Your family situation and the future. Lily felt cold, as if a shadow had swept in to steal her warmth. Was she about to lose everything? Ruth's grip tightened on her hand, and for a fleeting moment, she felt a spark of courage. Whatever you have to say, we can handle it. But deep down, doubts clawed at her, and the air thickened with uncertainty. What awaited them just beyond this pivotal moment? The depth of her fear matched the weight of the moment. As Ms. Harris opened her mouth to speak, Lily inhaled deeply. Would it be a chance for hope or a shattering blow? As Lily's stomach knotted with dread, the question loomed, would this be the moment that changed everything, or would it pull them apart? Ms. Harris took a breath, and for a moment, the world around Lily felt sharp and clear. Time slowed, the constant hum of the room fading into an echoing silence. I understand this is a crucial time for all of you, she began, her eyes flickering between Lily, Ruth, and Amelia. But there is something we need to clarify. Lily held her breath. Her mind raced through the possibilities, each one more terrifying than the last. Would they send her away? Take away her safe haven? She gripped Ruth's hand tighter, willing herself to remain calm. Recently, we've learned there might be possible changes regarding your living situation, Ms. Harris continued, her tone laced with empathy. I want you to know that we're working to ensure your best interests are at heart. What do you mean, changes? Ruth broke in, her voice shaky. Due to some changes in funding and resources, there is a possibility that you may be placed in different homes, Ms. Harris explained slowly, her gaze steady yet soft. We are looking at options that would keep you all as close together as possible, but Lily could feel the weight of those unspoken words pressing down on her chest. The thought of separation began to creep in, worming its way into her heart with icy fingers. No, she managed to say, her voice small, trembling like the leaves on the big oak tree they used to climb. You can't do that. We can't be separated. Lily, Ms. Harris said gently, I know it's hard to think about. But I promise, we're dedicated to making this as smooth as possible for you. I don't care. Lily snapped, surprising herself. Everything we've built together, it'll just be gone. It won't matter what home we end up in if we're not together. Instantly, she felt a rush of embarrassment wash over her, the heat creeping up her neck. Ruth and Amelia's eyes widened, but then something shifted in their expressions, a deep understanding, a shared pain. Amelia stepped forward, folding Lily into a fierce hug. No matter what happens, we can face anything together. If we get split up, we will find our way back to each other. Always. Ruth joined them, her arms wrapping tightly around Lilia's shoulders. For that moment, they created a wall of warmth, blocking out the chilling uncertainty that surrounded them. Lily, you have every right to be scared, Ruth said softly, her voice strong with determination. But together, we're stronger than any of this. I'd climb mountains if it meant us staying united. With that, Lily felt her heart swell, the fear still there but now intertwined with something else, hope. Even in the darkness of uncertainty, she grasped onto the light her friends represented. Ms. Harris nodded, visibly moved. That's the spirit I hoped to see. Remember, no matter the changes, your bonds are powerful. The system may change, but your friendship doesn't have to. Lily looked up, a flicker of resilience igniting inside her. We just need to keep telling our story, don't we? The world needs to hear it. Ms. Harris offered a tentative smile. Exactly. Your voices matter. And remember, there are people out there who believe in you like me. A silence fell over the room, not of dread, but of possibility. In that moment, the three girls stood together, whispering promises of hope and strength into each other's ears, but just as hope rose, Lilia's phone buzzed violently on the table, shattering the moment. She glanced down, her pulse quickening again as a new message appeared on the screen. They're ready for you now. Come in. Her heart raced again. The meeting was upon them, and the stakes had never felt higher. As they shuffled toward the door, a question bubbled to the surface. Would their presentation be the way to prove they belonged together, or would it unveil deeper fears they weren't ready to confront? What awaited them beyond that door? Acceptance, judgment, or something entirely unexpected? The door loomed ahead, a barrier between them and an unknown future. Lily felt her hands go clammy. She glanced at Ruth and Amelia, their faces a blend of determination and anxiety, mirroring her own turmoil. It was now or never. With a collective breath, they pushed the door open and stepped inside. The room was bright, filled with harsh fluorescent lights that made everything seem sterile. A long table stood in the center, flanked by several adults, caseworkers, administrators, people with the power to change everything. They glanced up as the girls entered, their expressions unreadable. Welcome, a woman with sharp features and a clipboard declared, her voice brisk. We've reviewed your application and wanted to discuss your living situation in detail. Lily's heart pounded. She could feel the weight of her friends beside her, the three of them a united front against whatever this meeting might hold. Thank you for meeting with us, Ms. Harris said, her tone warm but professional. She directed a reassuring nod at Lily, who felt a flicker of hope. This was their chance. We believe it's important for you to stay together, Ms. Harris continued. But we need to hear from you why that is essential. Lily opened her mouth, but for a moment, no words came out. The fear of speaking up mingled with the desperate need to tell their story. Then Ruth stepped forward, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. "We're each other's family," she began, her eyes bright with conviction. "We've built a life together here. It's more than just a roof over our heads, it's about knowing we are not alone. We've supported each other through everything." The adults exchanged glances, scribbling notes. Lily could feel the hope blossoming in her chest, but when she turned to see how Amelia was holding up, she found her friend biting her lip, tears threatening to spill. With a squeeze of Ruth's hand, Lily stepped forward, her heart racing in her throat. "We've been through so much together. The idea of being split up, it scares us. We've found strength in each other. We can't lose that." The sharp-featured woman leaned closer, her expression softening. "And what would you say to the idea of living with families that might not understand your bond?" Lily's breath hitched. What if they couldn't find a place that recognized how much they meant to each other? We'd feel lost, alone. There was a moment of silence as the room absorbed her words. The adults exchanged serious looks. Lily could see the gears turning in their minds, considering, reflecting. Perhaps they would get it. Maybe their connection could be enough to anchor them. Then something shifted, breaking the tension. Amelia took a step forward, her voice small but clear. "We promise to be good kids. We'll do everything we can. Just please, we want to stay together." For a heartbeat, hope filled the room, pushing back the doubt. Yet, lingering fears loomed like dark clouds on the horizon. Ms. Harris nodded, her gaze steady. "This will be a process, but your voices have been heard, and we will advocate on your behalf." But it won't be easy. Just then, another adult at the table raised a hand, interrupting. "I think we need to talk about what happens next." Lily felt a chill rush down her spine. What did that mean? Were they still facing uncertainty ahead? As discussions started, words pinged around the room: interviews, placements, assessments. Lily felt overwhelmed, her heart racing, thoughts swirling. They had spoken their truth. But would it be enough? As the adults continued to deliberate, Lily exchanged glances with Ruth and Amelia, each girl's expression reflecting a different blend of hope and dread. The moment of truth hung in the air. Would their bond be a fortress or a fragile thread in the face of institutional forces? And just when Lily thought she might lose her grip on hope, a phone chimed, a notification that felt like a drop of water in a desert. "Lily?" Ms. Harris turned, her gaze intent. "You have any last thoughts?" Lily hesitated, her heart pounding. Two paths lay before them, one leading toward hope and unity, the other to uncertainty and fear. What would she say? Would she spill her heart, her fears, her dreams, or would she let silence echo her feelings? It felt like everything hung in the balance, and her next words could tip that scale. Can we truly stay together? As the question hung in the air, she knew everything was about to change. The adults in the room exchanged glances, the weight of Lily's question settling like a thick fog. She held her breath, waiting for someone to break the silence. Ms. Harris finally nodded, her expression contemplative. "That's what we're here to figure out, Lily." The flicker of hope ignited anew, but it was accompanied by a rush of uncertainty. A blank canvas lay ahead, and they had to paint their future with the colors of their unity. But could they really shape that picture? The discussions continued, with voices weaving back and forth like a rope being braided. Some adults focused on the logistics: foster homes, school placements. Others debated emotional needs, pointing out the importance of stability. Ruth and Amelia listened intently, hanging on every word, searching for clues that would steer them toward the one thing they wanted most: to stay together. Lily felt small in this large, clinical space. She glanced at her friends, their fingers intertwined on the table, squeezing tightly as if they could hold on to their dreams together. With every technical term thrown around, the reality of their situation crashed over her like waves, relentless and unyielding. "Next steps are crucial," one man with thick glasses stated, peering at his notes. "We'll need to assess family backgrounds." "What family?" Amelia burst out, her voice trembling. "We are a family. Why can't you see that?" Lily turned to her friend, her heart aching for her. Ruth quickly placed a hand on Amelia's arm, calming her with a gentle squeeze. They needed to stay strong. Just then, Miss Harris raised her hand for quiet, her tone authoritative yet gentle. Amelia, it's clear how much you care for each other. We see your bond. But to create a new plan, we need to understand the full picture. Lily dared to hope again. They had spoken their truth, laid their hearts bare. But would it be enough to sway decisions made in cold office rooms? The thought tightened her chest. The conversation began shifting to Allison, a social worker with serious eyes and a voice that brought a strange comfort. You can also choose to call us if something doesn't feel right at home. We have resources. Resources, Lily repeated, her mind racing. What if we just want a home? Ruth whispered. It was more than a roof, it was belonging. Their thoughts blurring into one, Lily's heart beat faster in her chest. As things wrapped up, Miss Harris assured them, you'll hear from us soon. Remember, you have a voice in this. Speak up if something isn't working for you. When the meeting officially ended and they stepped outside, the sun was shining brighter than before, almost blinding after the stark fluorescent lights. The warm rays felt like hope wrapping around them. Yet, as they walked together, an unsettling question settled in Lily's mind. What if their definition of home didn't match what the world saw? Lily's thoughts raced as they reached the park nearby. She needed to talk to Ruth and Amelia, to share the swirling ideas in her head. Do you think we'll really stay together? She finally asked, her voice small in the open space. Ruth and Amelia exchanged looks, a silent conversation passing between them. We'll fight, Lily, Ruth promised fiercely. No matter what. As they sat on a bench, looking out at the kids playing, the realities of their future loomed over them. Every inch of Lily wanted to believe in that fight. Yet deep down, an unsettling thought persisted. What if their bond wasn't strong enough to withstand the world? That question hung heavy in the air as they sat together, each girl leaning into each other for comfort, even while doubt gnawed at the edges. Would their fight turn into a victory or simply another heartbreak? Soon, they would have to face the truth. And Lily knew that the day was nearing when they'd be forced to confront not just their fears, but the consequences of every choice they had made. What would happen if they were separated? Would they be brave enough to claim their own destiny? The day of the presentation had finally arrived. As Lily stood in front of the crowd, her heart raced. She looked out at the faces of the people who held her fate in their hands. Nervous laughter bubbled up from somewhere deep within her, displacing the tension in her chest. Ruth stood beside her, a steady rock, radiating calmness, while Amelia offered a reassuring smile that anchored her spirit. Are you ready? Ruth whispered, squeezing Lily's hand. Lily nodded, though the tremor in her knees told a different story. Let us do this. Ruth took a deep breath, stepping forward. We're here to share our story, she began, her voice strong and clear. A story of friendship, love, and hope. Lily watched as the room slowly quieted down, the audience leaning forward as if they could feel the weight of their words. Lily and I met when she was feeling alone, Ruth continued. From day one, I saw her bright spirit, even through the shadows of her loneliness. We bonded over our love for flowers and crafting stories together. Lily felt her heart lift. This was her moment. When I'm with Ruth, she added, her voice gaining strength, I feel like I'm not invisible anymore. I'm seen. I'm heard. We share laughter and dreams, and it's like magic. Emotions swirled through the audience. Lily looked toward the social worker, who appeared engaged and deep in thought. Every moment we spend together adds a vibrant color to my life, she explained. Without Ruth, I'd be lost again in loneliness. I don't want to go back to that. Her voice shook with emotion, but conviction flooded her words. Amelia stepped in next, her voice a soft yet powerful proclamation. Love isn't confined to blood, it's in the connection we build together. Lily and Ruth are more than just friends, they are family. Lily caught Ruth's eye, their unspoken bond wrapping around them, holding them steady. We've made something beautiful, something worth fighting for, Ruth interjected, the passion in her voice igniting a spark of hope in the room. Then the audience shifted, murmurs of approval filling the air. Lily began to feel her heart warm with the recognition of their connection. Please, she pleaded, her eyes scanning the faces of the adults, seeing understanding. We just want to stay together. Love like this should be nurtured, not separated. We'll fight for it. Ms. Harris, the social worker, nodded thoughtfully, her stern expression softening. You've shown us the strength of your bond. It's clear that what you have is extraordinary. As the presentation wrapped up, anxiety swirled in the air as they awaited the verdict. The adults began their deliberation, a hushed intensity filling the room. Each tick of the clock felt like an eternity. Finally, Ms. Harris stood, her expression serious yet hopeful. We've thoroughly reviewed what you've shared. An uncommon love exists here, and we see the depth of your connection, how you lift each other, how you grow together. Lily held her breath. Given this, we can facilitate a trial living arrangement that allows you to stay together while we evaluate a more permanent option. A wave of relief washed over the three girls, joy bursting forth like fireworks in the midnight sky. Lily felt tears prickling her eyes, but this time they were tears of hope. "Thank you," was all she managed to say, as Ruth and Amelia enveloped her in a tight embrace. Even as the reality of their journey settled, a lingering thought still sparked beneath the surface. "You can always tell your story," Ms. Harris said, as she turned to them with a gentle smile. "Your voices matter. Your love is a powerful thing." In that moment, Lily understood. They were a tapestry woven from resilience, joy, and unwavering support. They would face whatever challenges came their way together. As they walked out of that building, hand in hand, warmth spread through her. Light sparkled around them, and Lily felt the vibrancy of her world return. "We did it!" Amelia beamed, her voice a mixture of disbelief and triumph. "I knew we could!" Ruth exclaimed, laughter spilling through. Lily grinned back, feeling a radiant smile stretch across her face. "And we'll keep fighting. Together." This was just the beginning of the new story. They would write the story of love enduring against all odds. But for now, they had each other, and everything felt as it should, whole. Now, here's the moment, friends. You need to subscribe now to our channel to not miss the next incredible stories. We have so much more to share with you. Leave a like right now to feed the algorithm. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this heartwarming ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation unfold. Let us spread the love.